Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks YouTube channel. Bruce, what's going on?
Oh, I'm still trying to figure everything out in my office here.
I guess we could have tested that before we went live, but my bad. We went live right away. So I can hear you. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I think so. So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. I actually made some notes for today, so this should be interesting.
You're ahead of me. I didn't make any notes, so I'm winging it.
All right. Well, before we get into it, we are a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network, and if you have not listened to our podcast, definitely check it out. We are the official podcast of Left Wing Lock. Today, like yesterday, and through the rest of the playoffs, we're going to focus on DFS and some bets, some game picks for the NHL or the Stanley Cup playoffs. Starting with what went on yesterday, Bruce, and let's talk about Shesterkin.
Oh, he stood on his head. 80 shots on net, I think, is what they registered. It was just ridiculous, right? It's
set a record. I think they said it was the second most in NHL history, and it was the most stops by a New York goaltender.
Wow.
The only one that faced more was Jonas Korpisalo. I think it was 85 shots or something he faced.
That would have been, against Tampa 3 years ago?
I believe so, yeah. I didn't double check that, but I think that's what it was.
Wow. That's a lot.
Pretty impressive.
Very.
And then John, of course, will be happy to know Evgeny Malkin gets the OT winner in triple overtime.
That's a marathon. 3 overtimes. I was already well into bed by then.
Yep. Not bad. I should have mentioned, if you did select Igor Shesterkin as your goaltender yesterday, he put up 46.5 fantasy points for you in DraftKings. Bruce, I think you went that route, right?
I sure did.
Nice.
Powered me to number 2.
Yeah, pretty solid outing from you yesterday. So if you followed some of Bruce's advice yesterday, you probably did okay. I finished somewhere. I did get paid. I qualified yesterday for money, but it wasn't a high-ranking lineup. So. Washington, Florida. Who saw that coming, eh?
I never pictured the Panthers to melt down in the third period like that. No.
That was interesting. Game-winning goal for TJ Oshie. Nice value there at $3,000. He put up just over 11 points, I believe it was.
Very nice.
Pretty good stuff there from him. The second line, actually, speaking of my lineup, so the second line in Florida did come to play. So we had goals by Bennett and Giroux yesterday. Both guys good value. They're somewhere in that $4,000 or $4,500 range on DraftKings. Put up just under 15 points.
Nice. Very nice. I had Drew.
Yeah, Drew. There you go. Dallas, Calgary. I mean, we kind of saw this outcome to some degree. Of course, he puts up a 16-save shutout. I don't think we saw one goal. Did you, Bruce?
No, and fortunately for me, I picked 2 guys that had the goal and the assist. Goal and one of the assists for Calgary, so that helped me, but that was a lot closer game than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no question. To hold him to 16 shots is pretty good. Nice work there by the Calgary defense.
You bet.
And then probably the big exciting game of the night was Nashville, Colorado.
That was over 15 minutes into the first period.
Yeah, they chased Rittich pretty quick.
Yes.
A .615 save percentage for David Rittich yesterday.
Ouch. They miss Saros. They miss him badly.
They do. And this goes back to your point when we were talking about our brackets on the podcast on Sunday. I think you said Colorado in 5, and that was being generous just given the goaltending situation.
Yeah. They need Saros back badly, and hopefully he is well enough to play, because Colorado's going to be nicely warmed up after game 2 if they light the Predators up again like this.
That's right. It sounds like he's going to miss the first 2 games, possibly back for game 3, is what I've heard.
They need him.
They do. Yep. That top line stack that I had suggested yesterday with McKinnon, Makar, and Shushkin, they put up 7 actual real points, 3 goals, which amounted to just under 75 points yesterday.
That's awesome.
So that would have served you well in DraftKings if you were playing.
That was awesome.
All right, so that's yesterday's wrap up. Let's get on to what we got going on tonight. All right, first up, we got Boston and Carolina. Obviously, Boston is the underdog at +100 on the money line. Carolina -120 on the money line. I'm going with Boston tonight. Some of the things I looked into, obviously, Boston actually outshot and outchanced Carolina. They had a 53.85 Corsi for percentage, a 58.66 expected goals for, and a 51.06 scoring chance for. The big difference there, though, of course, was Linus Ullmark and an 833 save percentage. So tonight, I think they're going to be better. We'll see in my DFS picks in a little bit here that I like Boston tonight for DFS. So
who did I pick?
I don't know if that was actually legitimate, Bruce, or not, but
I'll take it.
Would that have been your pick had it been accurate?
That would have been my pick, yes.
Okay, I actually thought you had switched them up, but
I didn't even look at them.
we're accurate in this case. Perfect. All right, that's Boston, Carolina. Next up, Tampa and Toronto. I've got Tampa evening up the series here. I don't think another one's going to get past them. They're plus 115 on the money line. Obviously underdogs. And when you can get plus money on Tampa, a two-time defending Stanley Cup champion, even on the road, I'm going to take them. A couple notes there about Tampa and Toronto. The power play's got to be better for Tampa. They're 0 for 5.
Tampa's just got to be better in general. It's kind of like they didn't show up.
Yeah, no, I think they're a little bit shell-shocked. The other thing, too, is they need to get more pucks through. So the possession numbers were actually in Tampa's favor. They had a 52.94 scoring chance for percentage and a 57.14 Corsi for percentage. The issue is Toronto had 26 blocked shots in that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, versus Tampa, I believe, had 10 blocked shots. So Tampa Bay's going to have to find a way to get some pucks through because Toronto's making it pretty easy for Jack Campbell right now.
No kidding. No kidding. Who did I pick? No. You obviously missed the podcast on Sunday. Not a chance.
I don't know what happened there, Bruce. My apologies. Yeah. So Bruce is taking Tampa. I'm taking Tampa. So far, we're in agreement here, Bruce?
Yes.
Okay. Next up, St. Louis and Minnesota, plus 115 money for St. Louis, minus 135 on the money line for Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota. I think they're going to tie up this or even up this series here.
Yep.
I don't see them getting blown up again like they did in the last game.
No.
Nope. Kind of the difference there was special teams. The Blues were 33.3% on the power play and 100% on the penalty kill at 6 for 6. So Minnesota's got to be better with their power play. Like
definitely.
When you've got guys like Kirill Kaprizov and Fiala and Boldy and some of the other personnel they have on that first unit, they can't go 0 for 6 on the power play.
No, they definitely cannot.
They need more from Fleury, who's starting again tonight. He had an 871 save percentage. I think he's had a sub 900 save percentage in 5 of his last 6 starts.
Rough start. He'll push back tonight. He'll bounce back.
Yeah.
Very rarely does he have 2 bad games in a row.
No, I think he's going to bounce back on this one. I do like Minnesota, and you've got Minnesota here as well, Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Minnesota actually, and part of the reason I like Minnesota is they had better numbers in game 1 in terms of possession. They had a 72.13 Corsi for percentage, 61.79 goals for, expected goals for percentage, and a 72 scoring chances for percentage. So they outshot and outchanced the Blues. It was just special teams that killed them, and I think they'll probably make some corrections tonight and remedy that. So we're happy there?
You bet.
All righty. And last but not least, the LA Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. It looks like odds makers sort of warmed up to the Oilers a little bit overnight because the odds were worse last night when I was looking at this, but it's plus 165 for LA, minus 200 for Edmonton. I've got Edmonton bouncing back here and taking game 2 to even up the series. I'm assuming you feel the same way, Bruce?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going with the Oil.
Okay, cool. Some things to note in game 1. The Oilers were outscored 4-1, 5-on-5. That can't happen again. They've got to be better 5-on-5.
Absolutely. That's
their numbers were not good. They had a 45 Corsi for percentage, 43 expected goals for percentage, and a 42 scoring chances for percentage. So not good there. They're below average. Some defensive debacles, the Mike Smith thing.
He was channeling his inner Tristan Jarry on that one.
Absolutely. So I anticipate they're going to be a lot better here in game 2, and they're going to even up that series. And I can't remember if I mentioned you, Bruce, but the NHL media website put out some information there. Teams that go down 2-0 will lose that series something like 86% of the time.
Really? Is that high?
It's that high. Yeah, I'll have to send you the article after. So big games here for all those teams that are down by one game right now.
For sure.
With yesterday's results, I am 4 of 8 at 50%. You were 3 for 8 at 37.5%. We're going to improve that again tonight, Bruce. I can feel it.
Oh, there's only way up for me.
Prop bets. So I actually expanded the prop bets a little bit here. So we've got player specials, then we've got some shot props, and we've got some points props. So of these ones here, Bruce, which one appeals to you the most?
Oh, I think Leon and Connor. I think that's almost a gimme. Almost.
Yeah. So Leon to score and Connor to put up 2+ points.
Yeah, I think that's almost a gimme, that one.
That's free money there, Bruce.
Just about, yep.
I like that one too. I think just to be different, I like the David Perron to score and Ryan O'Reilly to record 1 point or more at +400.
Oh, based on game one, it's a good bet.
I would say so too. So we'll see there. I also don't mind the Matthews and Marner one. Matthews at this point is almost automatic to score, so that wouldn't be a surprise. 2+ points for Marner may be a stretch, though. We'll see.
Yeah, Leafs now. They got to put 4 games in a row before I'll even consider anything.
When did Tyler get on this podcast? All right. Next up here, we got shot props. You'll like this. I got Zuccarello here at over 2.5 shots on goal, +140. He's averaging 2.7 shots on goal over his last 4 games, going back into the regular season. So I think that's a fairly safe bet, and at +140, there's some appeal there.
For sure.
And then this one is almost a gimme too. Leon Draisaitl over 3.5 shots on goal, +125. He's got 3.75 shots on goal per game since March 1st. He had 5 shots on goal on Monday night against LA.
Very nice. Very nice.
There you go. And then we've got point props here. Kirill Kaprizov over 1.5 points, +175. He's got 6 points, 3 goals in 3 games against St. Louis this season, not counting game one, obviously. But he had 2 points on April 16th and 3 points on January 1st. So I think at +175, that's a good bet for him to score a couple points tonight and get the Wild back in the series.
They're going to need him if they want to.
Yeah. And then Mitch Marner, over 1.5 points, +175. He has 5 points, 1 goal in 3 games against Tampa this season. He had 3 points and 1 goal in game 1.
Yeah, Leafs, boo.
I know you don't like that one, but at +175, it's pretty good value. So there you go. There are our prop bets. And then talking DFS here, my lineup, I like Leon Draisaitl, Kirill Kaprizov. I like Evan Bouchard at $4,700. Vasilevsky is great value tonight at just $7,700. He was the 6th highest in terms of DK salary for goaltenders. So I'm not really sure. Like, to me, that's wrong. But I guess given what happened in game 1, it makes sense. But
I'm going to have to change my goalie.
You may have to look at that one, Bruce. Yeah, Vasilevsky at $7,700 is a pretty good option there.
Yeah, I had a different one in, but I'm going to change that. I have enough space in mine. I can do that.
Okay. And then I really like Taylor Hall tonight. When I looked at some of the underlying metrics or the possession numbers, the scoring chances for, Corsi for, all that kind of stuff for that line with Pastrnak and Haula, they generated a lot of chances in game 1, and obviously Hall scored. Hall had an assist. So at $3,900, that's terrific value for Taylor Hall. The stack I like is Pastrnak, Hall, and McAvoy. They're all on power play 1. And like I said, those numbers look good. Pastrnak was held pointless in game 1, but I think he's going to bounce back in a big way here in game 2. And for you, Bruce, take it away.
Oh, for me, oh crap, I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on. Which one? Okay, so for me, then I write Steven Stamkos, winger Kevin Fiala, Nurse in his defense. It is, you see Husso on the screen here, but I'm going to change that to Vasilevsky. I got couple $100 left in my DraftKings, so I'm going to change that to Vasilevsky. And for a utility player, I went with Matt Boldy. I think for the Wild to get back into it tonight, they're going to need Fiala and Boldy. Stamkos has been on an absolute tear lately, and basically game one was a bit of a speed bump for him, and he will be right back in it tonight. So my stack was Kevin Fiala and Matt Boldy for tonight.
I like that. They've been relying on those guys fairly heavily into the playoffs, and they need them to produce, like you said again here tonight.
Yeah, and it's a hard-working line. They're not really a finesse line. They're a hard-working line. So that's what they need tonight.
Okay, there you go. There you have it. There's Bruce's and Devon's picks for DFS and DraftKings. Obviously, if you're signing up for DraftKings, use promo code THPN, and be sure to subscribe to us on Twitter at FHHacks, on Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Hacks. Like I said earlier, if you haven't listened to our podcast yet, check it out. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, basically anywhere you would listen to your podcasts. And for more content, check out our website, fantasyhockeyhacks.com. I'm Devon, Bruce Gunther. All right, buddy. Thanks. It was fun. We're a little bit over our 15-minute time limit here, but a little more information today, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
Take care.